Welcome back to the Morveth Lurks. Today, we're diving into one of America's most chilling unsolved mysteries, the Bennington Triangle. If you've heard of the Bermuda Triangle, imagine that. But on land, tucked away in the dense, fog-shrouded forests of southwestern Vermont. Coined by author Joseph A. Citro in the 1990s, the Bennington Triangle refers to a roughly 100-square-mile patch of wilderness centered around Glastonbury Mountain. It includes the towns of Bennington, Woodford, Shaftesbury, and Somerset, once bustling logging hubs in the 1800s that turned into ghost towns by the early 20th century after floods, economic collapse, and abandonment. This rugged terrain is no joke. Steep slopes, unpredictable winds, thick underbrush, and hidden mine shafts from its industrial past. But what makes it infamous? A string of bizarre disappearances between 1945 and 1950, where 5 people vanished without a trace. Or almost. Local Native American tribes, like the Abenaki, long viewed Glastonbury Mountain as cursed. A place where the winds carried spirits of the dead, and they avoided it except for burials. Was it folklore? Or a warning? Let's unpack the cases that turned this quiet corner of Vermont into a hotbed of speculation. The key disappearances. Our story starts on a crisp November day in 1945. Midday Rivers, a 74-year-old seasoned hunter and local guide, was out with a group near the Long Trail in Bickford Hollow. He knew these woods like the back of his hand. Hell, he'd led hunts there for decades. Around 4 p.m., he stepped ahead of the party to scout, and poof, gone. Searches involving hundreds, including the U.S. Army and firefighters, turned up zilch. Just one spent rifle cartridge. No body, no clues. Midday simply evaporated into the mountain air. Fast forward to December 1st, 1946, exactly 1 year later. Paula Jean Weldon, an 18-year-old sophomore at Bennington College, decided to blow off some steam with a solo hike on the Long Trail. Dressed in a bright red jacket, jeans, and sneakers, not exactly winter gear, she hitchhiked to the trailhead and was last seen by fellow hikers around 4 p.m. Her father, a prominent engineer, pulled strings for a massive search. FBI involvement, a $5,000 reward, even aircraft. Nothing. Paula's case exploded in the media, inspiring books, and even Shirley Jackson's novel hangs on. To this day, she's the face of the Triangle's mysteries. Now, things get weirder. On December 1st, 1949, notice the date pattern? James Tedford, a 68-year-old World War I vet living at the Bennington Soldiers' Home, boarded a bus from St. Albans heading south. 14 passengers swore he was on board, luggage and all, dozing in his seat. But when the bus pulled into Bennington, empty seat. Luggage still there, timetable open on his lap. He vanished mid-ride, without stopping. No one saw him exit. Searches? Fruitless. Some whispered he was despondent, maybe jumped off unnoticed. But how? October 1950 brought 2 more heart-wrenching cases. First, 8-year-old Paul Jepson, a boy with special needs, was playing in his family's red pickup truck at the Bennington town dump while his mom fed the pigs. She turned away for maybe 30 minutes, around 3 p.m., and he was gone, wearing a bright red jacket, just like Paula. Bloodhounds tracked his scent to a crossroads. Then it vanished, possibly washed away by rain. Theories flew. Hit by a car? Lured away? Paul's obsession with the mountains added an eerie twist. Just 2 weeks later, on October 28th, Frida Langer, a 53-year-old experienced hiker, was out with her cousin near Somerset Reservoir. She slipped into a stream, got soaked, and headed back to camp alone to change. About 1 p.m. She never made it. A 400-person search, including helicopters, found nothing at first. But 7 months later, in May 1951, her body turned up 3.5 miles away in an open field that had been scoured before. Decomposition hid the cause, maybe exposure, a seizure, or drowning. Frida was the only one recovered, but her case raised questions. How was she missed? Major theories. So what happened in the Bennington Triangle? Let's break down the theories, from the rational to the downright otherworldly. First, the grounded ones. Mother Nature's a beast here. The terrain is brutal. Dense forests, sudden fog, erratic winds that can disorient even experts. Unmarked mine shafts from the old logging days could swallow someone whole. Animal attacks? Black bears and rare cougars roam, though no evidence points there. For kids like Paul, blending into fall leaves in red clothing might explain missed searches. Weather plays a role too. Hypothermia hits fast in Vermont's cold snaps. Frida's body, found downstream, suggests rivers carried evidence away. But skeptics aren't satisfied. Enter the supernatural. Local folklore speaks of the Bennington Monster, a Bigfoot-like creature stalking the woods, tied to Abenaki legends of cursed lands where spirits whisk people away. UFO sightings? Check. Strange lights reported over Glastonbury. Some theorize interdimensional portals or a vortex where the veil between worlds thins, sucking victims in. A serial killer? Possible, but dismissed due to victim diversity. No pattern beyond location and timing, afternoons in late year. Even wilder, Wendigo spirits from native lore driving people mad, or government experiments in the remote wilds. But remember, no hard proof for any of this. The Triangle's rep grew from Citro's books and media hype, turning facts into legend. The Bennington Triangle remains an enigma. 5 lives lost to the unknown, with only whispers of answers. Is it cursed ground, a deadly wilderness, or just tragic coincidence? One thing's clear: respect the wild. It doesn't forgive mistakes. If this chilled you, hit like, subscribe, and drop your theories below. Bigfoot or bad luck? Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay safe. Until next time.